And Dawson's pretty cool about it. He's like, "Oh, nothing, like nothing happened." And he's like, "Okay, so you're just wearing that lipstick as a fashion statement."
Yeah. Pacey's growing on me, guys.
This is Whose Creek Is It?
The podcast where two sisters recap and pontificate about the show Dawson's Creek.
I'm Miranda, and I've seen the whole series at least 5 times.
And I'm Allison, and I'm watching this show for the very first time. Let's get started. Well, listeners, it's been a day, but we're recording. We might have fixed some audio issues because, yes, we realized the audio was not perfect. We're doing our best.
Yeah, I hope it's better. It's kind of my fault. Obviously, I'm the one that sounds choppy. Hopefully it's better. But now I get to sound stuffy and sick because I'm sick.
Yeah, I think you sound a little better. And also, it's not your fault. It's both our problem. If I had solved the problem, it wouldn't be a problem anymore. Can you tell I'm the oldest daughter who feels responsible for solving the problems? Uh, but we're back with an episode of Whose Creek Is It?
Yes. Yeah. So picking up where we left off is season 1, episode 9, called Roadtrip. Came out March 17th, 1998. And the director was Stephen Robman. The writer was Rob Thomas.
Of Matchbox 20 fame.
Yes, definitely. We're going to open in Dawson's bedroom.
With a Savage Garden song.
Yes. I think it's Truly, Madly, Deeply.
It
Am I getting
is.
that right? Okay.
Yes, because I wanna stand with you on a mountain. I wanna bathe with you in the sea. I wanna lay like this forever until the sky falls down on me.
Yes. Uh, and Dawson is like sulking, looking out of his bedroom window in the direction of Jen's house.
Just yeah, pining out the window, looking at her house.
Yeah, and then Joey's there being really helpful as a friend, saying, "Get over it."
Yeah, Joey's advice for handling emotional turmoil is just like, "Well, stop feeling that way."
Which I think it's fair. He said it was 48 hours. I'm like, "That's fair." Okay? Even if it was short-lived, he's a teenager, I expect at least a week.
Yeah, you gotta give him more than 48 hours. Although, I wouldn't wanna be the friend sitting there. I get it, Joey, but also, it's not an unreasonable time period.
Mhm. Yeah, and she comments about him staring at her house and just being weird, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'd feel kinda weird if I was dating a guy next door and I break up with him and he's just looking at me through his window."
Yeah, just staring out. And I think the way she put it is staring at her house like it's gonna disappear.
Yeah.
But Dawson says something about, "Yeah, every time I see Billy go back," and I was like, "Why is Billy still here?"
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say they announced that he's still around,
Mhm.
and the annoying thing is, though, is Dawson does not seem to blame himself at all for what happened.
He just I'm not sh he doesn't No, he definitely doesn't. In fact, he goes on this, like, little rant about how she's rejecting everything about my personality, respect and romance, and I was like, "That's not what what she was rejecting." And you're really putting a lot of weight on your own chivalry.
Mhm. Yeah, she rejected romance, honesty, and respect. Sure.
Yeah, no one respects you like a boy who constantly slut shames you.
Yeah. But yeah, Joey does say you've only known her for 3 months, which yeah.
Yeah, 3 months, and meanwhile, Joey's like, "I've known you your whole life, and I've been pining for you." Like, Joey's not the person to complain about this.
Yeah. But she tries to distract him by watching a movie with him. She turns on the TV, and apparently Dawson's just been watching video he has of Jen.
Yeah, video that, like, looks like footage from the first episode where she's, like, getting out of the cab and she's, like looks like an angel in a button-down dress, and it's just like, "You've been just watching this?" And, she asks what movie he rented, and he says, "Sid and Nancy."
Which I've not seen, but I
Neither have
assume it's
I.
sad.
It's a movie about Sid Vicious and Nancy, I forgot her name, but, yeah, it's a tragic, really destructive relationship with a rock star.
Hmm,
But, just like 2 people that drive each other to destruction as far as I know. I have not actually seen it, but
that sounds like something I'd wanna watch.
you like weird, sad movies.
It's my favorite.
But anyway, Dawson is sad and Joey is over it.
Yeah. But then we get to see Billy, who is approaching Jen's house with a ladder, which first thing that comes to mind, where did he get a ladder?
Yeah, did he just steal Joey's ladder?
Yeah, I guess so. It is right there. I don't think they ever put it away.
Yeah, that's just so invasive.
Yeah, but when he steps through the window, there's a filter poster on the wall behind him,
That's
which
a band, right?
yes, it's a band. I mostly know them from the song, Take a Picture, I think is what it's called, but they also have the one that's like, "Hey man, nice shot." I think that's it. Anyway, Filter is a very, like, grungy rock band, which I guess means that Jen is really into, like, that kind of vibe and not, like, pop stuff, which kinda makes sense given her past that she's probably really, like, pessimistic.
Yeah, yeah, this is 1999, which is, like, the big bubblegum pop moment. So, Jen is not into the to NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and 98 Degrees, she's into Filter. She's deep, and she's from New York.
So, we hear in the background Jen looking for a sweater or something. Billy can tell someone's coming, so he goes and lays down on Jen's bed, and in comes Grams looking for the sweater
Yeah.
and sees him. She's pretty chill about a random man being in the house that she did not know was in the house, who looks way too old to be someone that Jen knows.
You know what? Yeah, in retrospect, she did not respond as crazily to that as she probably should have. She should have been more alarmed.
Yeah, I mean, she does ask Jen to bring the phone, which I assume was like, "Yeah, I might need to call 911."
Yeah, but she's very, like, calm about it. Not okay with it, but handling it in a very calm way, and I guess, she was a nurse, maybe who may have worked in labor and delivery, and Grams is good in a crisis.
Yep, she seems to be given, a hurricane and birthing a baby and random men in her home, like
Yeah, yeah, Grams there's a lot that would irritate me if I were Grams.
yeah. But Jen comes in, clearly was not expecting Billy to be there, and asks why he is there. And Billy says, "Well, I heard you dumped Dawson."
Which how? How did you hear that? Who told you?
I don't
Like,
know.
also, presumably that was 48 hours ago, so where has he been for the last 48 hours?
It's a good point.
But the point is Billy's still here.
Yeah.
And Grams knows who Billy is when she hears the name, and I was like, "What exactly does Grams know? Does Grams know that Billy and Jen were having sex in Jen's parents' bed?"
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like she thinks Jen was up to some pretty bad stuff, but I guess
Mhm.
what is bad in Graham's eyes?
Mhm.
Jen's telling him off. Grams leaves the room. And it's funny because when she's like, "Well, you better make him leave or else I'm gonna call the National Guard," and I was like, "Relevant."
Yeah, yeah, listeners, it's January 2026, and I would like to opt out of my subscription to this year. Um,
Hey, it was good for not really even a day. I mean, it's still pretty much the same.
yeah, when did we invade Venezuela? Yeah, for now, you know what? For now, we're allowed to, record and talk about things and presumably release them into the world, so,
Yeah.
it's fine, everyone's fine, that's not true. But yeah, she goes with the National Guard.
Yeah. And Jen mentions, like, just because her and Dawson are on hiatus, which means she's not totally calling it off with him.
Yeah, that seemed like an interesting choice because I was like, that is not really how you put it to him. You like alluded to it saying, I'm probably going to regret this and come crawling back to you. But yeah, that did kind of give us a peek into her headspace that this isn't necessarily really all the way over.
Mhm. Yeah, and Billy does not like her attitude and says, "You used to be fun." And she said, "No, I used to be weak and vulnerable."
Yeah. Because, yeah, if someone's telling you that you used to be fun, I would say 9 times out of 10, that is a person that wants to drag you down with them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, next we see Dawson presumably walking to school when he runs into Billy, who just happens to be there.
Yeah. Just lounging in his convertible.
Mhm.
Like a 20-something without anything to do, who's scamming on high school girls.
Yeah. They get into some kind of discussion, I guess Dawson being like, "Why are you still here?
Mhm.
Like, why are you talking to me? Why are you hanging out here?" And Billy tries to relate to him in some way of, like, being like, "Well, we have a common ground, and that's, like, our unhealthy interest in Jen," basically.
Yeah, and then, like, he just gets into Dawson's head being like, and you see her, you wonder if she's thinking about you, and you wonder if, if she's listening to music, does the song remind her of you or someone else? And Dawson just hook, line, and sinker buys it, lets himself be pulled in completely.
Yeah. This whole storyline, it's like, I don't know how this happens, but Billy, he tries to convince Dawson to, like, go on a road trip with him and says, like, we should take a ride to Providence where I know a bunch of, like, women that are there because of, like, 2 all-women colleges nearby.
Yeah, and he I think he positions it as like, well, what if the best way to get back at Jen or to make her regret it is to, show that you're not sitting around waiting for her. And I'm just like, "Why, Dawson, why are you listening to this man? Why are you listening to anything this man says to you? You know that this man does not want good things for you. Why are you listening to this man?"
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, near the end, it seems like he kinda knew what was going on the whole time, but still, like, why would you even choose to spend a whole day with this guy? I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, but somehow he gets Dawson to agree to ditch school,
Mhm.
and we then see Joey walking to school, and Warren, who is some jock, pulls up in his Jeep to offer her a ride, and she's very, surly. She's like, "No, I'm waiting for Ted Bundy."
Mhm. And then she, like, thinks he doesn't get it, and then he proves that he does get it, and I was like, "Oh, is this a boy that Joey's gonna have an unexpected connection with? Is this gonna turn out good for Joey?" Because I'm new to the show.
Yeah, it does turn pretty flirty, and, I mean, he's kinda cute. His face is a little long, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought too. He's like, it's exactly how you said. He's kinda cute, but his face is kinda weirdly long. Though in the way that sometimes you see, like, a teenage boy that clearly has grown a lot in the last couple years, and they just look like they've been stretched out like a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
But she gets in the Jeep.
Yep, I swear this episode is just all about people getting rides with people that they shouldn't.
Yeah, this on the one hand, as I went through this episode, I was like, this is not I'm not impressed with the character motivations. I don't feel like they've necessarily earned the choices that they're making or being written to make. But on the other hand, it also feels like there were some pretty heavy episodes. So I was like, okay, this is clearly like kind of a palate cleanser episode where it's like, and here's a self contained story.
Yeah, where pretty much everything starts and ends the same.
Yeah, it's like we need a break.
Mhm. Yeah, so Joey accepts the ride, and she does seem to be enjoying it. She's, like, sticking her head out the top of the Jeep, and everything seems wonderful. But then Warren, I forget what he says. He's just, like, being rude. I think he makes a comment about her nipples showing.
Yeah, it was something about, "Is it cold outside, or are you just glad to see me?" And, like, meanwhile, she's, like, wearing a coat. You can't see her nipples. Shut up,
No.
Warren. Also, that is such a weird, creepy thing to say to
Yes.
someone unless you already have an established playful sexual relationship with them, that is really weird and creepy to say.
Yeah. Yeah, Joey tries to tell him off, but then he interrupts and says, "You kinda talk a lot."
Which, like, yeah.
I laughed, but it's also, like, negging. Is
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, there's a grain of truth, but you're still clearly in the wrong here. And
Mhm.
but it is funny because Joey kinda, like, sees it and she knows there's a grain of truth,
Mhm.
but, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He asks her about her and Dawson's relationship. She's like, "No, we're just friends. What are you talking about?" And he basically, like, questions Dawson's manhood to some degree, to which she defends him like, "Oh, just because he's not, like, an asshole jockey kinda dude like you doesn't mean, like, he's not a man or a boy or whatever." But
Mhm.
then, he goes, "Well, how would you know?" Which, like, insinuating, "Well, you're a virgin, so."
Yeah. How would yeah, this I mean, just the questioning of, genders, it's why if we cannot escape the moment we live in. We are fucking trapped here in the present. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm surprised that Joey doesn't tuck and roll out of that Jeep.
yeah, if any of the characters were going to, I could see Joey doing it. And she's yeah, because it's a Jeep. Clearly, it was like, yeah, there was this brief moment of brightness where something nice might happen to Joey, and then just the light was snapped out.
So, okay, so now we're at school, and Dawson runs into Pacey at school while he's gone there to turn in his math homework before he goes gallivanting off with Billy.
Yeah, which on the one hand, I was like, I could maybe see myself doing that. I was like, well, I already did the homework. I want to get credit for it. But on the other hand, if you skip, you just tell me you're sick and you turn in the next day, Dawson.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But they
I
had to get to
mean,
the school so that Pacey could get involved.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so Pacey's like, "Well, of course I'm ditching. That's nothing new for me." Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, we see Joey and Jen. It seems like Jen sought Joey out to like tell her something, but then it's interrupted by them turning a corner to find Billy there with
hmm
Pacey. And Jen starts like cutting into Billy, assuming that Billy is there for her, which kind of, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
But Billy yanks her chain by being like, "Oh no, I'm just like coming here because Dawson wanted to drop off his math homework, but we're gonna like go out." And insinuates that they're gonna go to like a brothel or something.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say the thriving Providence whorehouse scene, but I don't know. I haven't been to Providence in many years.
Wait, you've been to Providence?
Briefly, yeah, once on a hockey trip, I went and visited Providence College. They had a women's hockey team.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Eh,
Well, yeah, so I'm kinda surprised that the girls seem to kinda believe that story.
yeah, I was like, "That's" but they go with it, and I was like, "That's a really" why would again, why is anyone listening to Billy?
Yeah. So they leave, and so it's just Jen and Joey, and Jen warns Joey that, there's been a rumor going around that she had sex with Warren.
Mhm. And, yeah, I forget if it was, like, before she says that or after, but there was this brief moment where I was like, "Are Jen and Joey finally gonna be friends?" This episode was just a series of hopes for possibility. But yeah, that's what sorry, I backtracked, but yeah, the main action is Jen's like, "Did you have sex with Warren? Because that's what he's saying." And I was like, "That's really fast."
Hey, I mean, that rumor about Pacey and Tamara got around in, like, an hour.
Apparently, and no one's even texting.
I know.
But yeah, immediately. Maybe it's like I don't know, doesn't matter, but immediately after giving her a ride to an uncomfortable ride to school, apparently Warren has convinced the school that he slept with Joey.
Yeah. Anyway, so we quickly just see Pacey and Dawson on a ferry, because I guess they need to cross a body of water. I didn't bother to look up the geography of this, but
Yeah, that happens over there on the East Coast.
yeah. I mean, we have ferries in the Bay Area, but I don't think
Yeah.
there's any that you can put a car on because there's bridges.
Yeah, that's what the bridges are for. Well, you can but there are that is very much a thing though, ferries that carry cars. I think I can't remember if they do it to Catalina Island. But yeah, so they get on one of those ferries to get to Providence. And
Yeah, basically Pacey was just saying that Dawson cares about being the nice guy, and he is the nice guy, and I don't know, yanking his chain somehow
mhm,
by saying that. But, yeah, next we see Joey coming into the cafeteria where Warren is sitting with all his jock friends and confronts him, like, pulls him aside and says, "I know what you've been saying." And Warren says that this could be good for our reputations.
yeah, he's like, "You're getting moved up to the big leagues of high school, I guess?" It's that if someone thinks you had sex, now you're like a big leaguer in high like, what?
Yeah, he it's like the assumption that, she desires to be popular, and since he has a higher social status, that's good for
Mhm.
her.
Yeah. Well, my, like, thought early on was like, "Wait, Joey, why are you pulling him aside? Like, you guys have a no, you should just walk up to that table and say, 'Why are you telling people we had sex?'" Or say or something like, "You told people we have sex," and then laugh at him. Like, you don't need to privately pull him away, but, I'm backseat driving for a teen in 1999.
But yeah, he basically goes that route, which, I wasn't expecting it. He just
Yeah.
loudly says, "Look, I never said I'd be your boyfriend," to which
Yeah.
supposedly everybody hears.
Yeah, it was a pretty honestly, it was a pretty savvy move.
Yeah. I kinda doubt he'd be that smart.
I mean, he knows who Ted Bundy is, so
Yeah, so Joey walks out of the cafeteria just frustrated and maybe a bit defeated. Jen goes and follows her out into the hall, and Joey's kind of resigned to like letting it go and hoping people will just like forget about it or get over it or something. But
Mhm.
then Jen's like, "Oh, I think I have an idea."
Yeah, this might have been the moment where I was like, "Oh, Jen and Joey are gonna be friends."
Yeah.
And I did notice, I think it was in the cafeteria, in the background, there was a poster of, like, a boy and a girl talking dramatically, and it said something it was like a quote from the girl saying, "I won't get pregnant."
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was in the cafeteria,
that's cool. I did not notice that.
which is, foreshadowing for our listeners.
Mhm. I did skip over the fact that when Jen goes out to, like, comfort Joey in the hall, that she's like, "Just so you know, like, I didn't really think you were like, you had anything with Warren. I always kind of assumed that you'd be with someone different," and kinda, like, trails off.
Yeah, and they just stand, someone different than Warren, and yeah, yeah. She doesn't say the word Dawson, but
Mm-mm. It's implied, pretty obviously.
but Joey being her very, like, it just seems like Joey always feels backed into a corner, being her very, like, defensive self is like, "Oh, you asked me because you didn't believe it." And it's like, "Joey, she didn't." What would make her believe that? It's just like Joey is so she's, she's very defensive and she's not used to being treated nicely, so she doesn't trust it.
Mhm. But yeah, it seems like no one else gave her that intel that Warren was saying that, so she should kinda be grateful that Jen clued her in.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we're gonna find out what Jen's idea is later, but we go back to the ferry where Pacey says, like, Dawson is his good angel on his shoulder. He has, like, the devil on one and the angel on the other, and Dawson's his angel, which feels
Mhm.
like a compliment, but I don't think it's intended to be.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's sort of hard to it was writing this line between telling Dawson, like, genuinely you're a good guy and a good influence, but also kind of giving him a hard time and being like, you're a goody goody. You need to live it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Also,
and
why was it sunset? Just, I think that's gonna be a theme, is that anytime they're out on the water in a boat, it's gonna be sunset no matter what time of day it's supposed to be.
yeah. I wonder if it is, like, I'm sure that they just didn't really think that much about it, but I wonder if it is, like, really hard to film during the day on the ocean because of, like, the light reflection or something?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Or it could just be ambiance, I don't know.
Yeah, everyone looks better at golden hour.
Yeah. I think Pacey says something like, "Well, you have TP'd and, uh, done some, you know" I wouldn't say bad stuff, but, like, yeah, lists off at least that he's, like,
Mischief.
mischief, yeah, but then Dawson calls it a youthful indiscretion. And then Pacey says, "What am I, running for the Senate?" Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good line, that was a good one. And they introduce kinda early in the ferry ride that there are these 2 ruffians, these 2, like, kinda middle-aged men who were clearly just drinking beers on the boat and kind of harassing an old lady in her car.
Yeah.
So they notice that.
Yeah, and they start thinking about if they should do something. I think, like, Billy suggests slashing their tires.
When he went to slashing the tires, I thought that the response from Dawson was gonna be like, "That's an escalation," but instead, Dawson responds with like, "Oh, that's so original." So, Dawson doesn't have the problem of slashing these people's tires when it's clear there's gonna be a very limited pool of suspects. He just thinks it's unoriginal.
Yeah, I think this episode's a lot of, like, Dawson posturing for these 2 guys he knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says, "Have you ever heard of American Graffiti? Or have you seen American Graffiti?" Which I have not. I need to.
I also have not. So, but I think I know one thing that happens in it now.
Yeah. We cut back to Joey making copies in a copier room, I guess, and Abby shows up, who we haven't seen for a few episodes. And
Since the detention episode.
mhm, yeah, and Abby is kinda teasing her about this whole rumor, like, maybe she doesn't believe it,
Mhm.
but then Joey starts putting on a really good act of making it seem like it did really happen. Well, she doesn't actually cry tears, but she makes it look like she acts like she's crying tears.
Yeah. It's a pretty good act.
Mhm. Yeah, and then she explains, like, that apparently, like, Warren was so nice to her. He would call her all the time, and he won her a stuffed animal at Coney Island. And he cried the first time we made love, and I just like burst out laughing.
Yeah, that was that was, like, going pretty far, but not crazy far, and I was like, that's yeah, good job, Joey."
Mhm. Yeah, and then she tells Abby that she's pregnant.
Mhm, and y just mwah.
Yeah, yeah. And she does say that Warren doesn't like see it as his responsibility or something, to which this really upsets Abby.
Yeah, because now Abby well, I mean, this was just a brilliant move waiting for Abby to come and give it to her because it just gives her more it gives her a new rumor to escalate. It allows her to really inject herself in things.
Yeah, because Abby's not the one to keep her mouth shut.
No. And then Abby leaves and the door closes and Joey's, like, at the Xerox machine and there's this just, like, sassy guitar riff. Sassy Xerox machine.
Yeah, she's like, "Ah, I got him now."
Yeah.
So, next we see Dawson under a car.
As you do.
Yeah, putting, like, a hook around I think it's an axle? I think that's what that
Yeah.
part is called? The thing that
I
holds the
think so.
tires
Yeah, the
that
little
makes them spin.
the pole that goes between the 2 tires.
Yep, we
I
know
believe it's the
cars.
axle. Yep, know all about them.
And he manages to do it while the drunk men are distracted, and they get into Billy's car as they approach the dock, getting ready to, like, pull out of the ferry. And
Mhm.
right before they pull out of the ferry, it's assumed that Pacey moons the men behind them,
Yeah.
which apparently gets these men riled up enough to, like, accelerate their car even when the car seems to stop, and maybe you would think something's wrong here, but they keep accelerating and their car tears apart like a pack of chips or something. Like,
Yeah, like, the axle that is hooked on and attached to, like, the ferry, like, the front of the car goes and leaves the axle behind, and then, Dawson and Billy and Pacey just ride away, and Dawson looks like he's just won the Super Bowl. He's pumping his fist, he's yelling. It's, it looks like the best moment of Dawson's life.
yeah. Yeah, and I also wanted to say I had heard about this previously, is that they might have got the idea of Pacey mooning these guys because apparently Joshua Jackson liked mooning people on set, like actors and crew, I guess, which probably wouldn't be okay today, but
Yeah, yeah. In 1999, though, I could very much see people being like, "Yeah, that's just Joshua." That is a thing that a teenage boy would be like, "This is really funny."
yeah, I'm so wild and cool.
I mean, mm, maybe we should cut this out, but I only witnessed it once, but there was a guy in sort of my circle, sort of like friends of friends who would come to the parties, and his joke was he would show people his balls.
Like,
He would
for real?
trick them. Yeah, like, trick them into seeing his balls.
Nah, yeah, that's too much. I'd prefer a moon.
Yeah, it was no, I didn't get the joke, but,
Yeah, that definitely feels like an HR write-up. Like,
yeah, but we were, drinking in the garage of a house that housed 4 college students.
yeah, it's weird how
So,
men just are not ashamed.
I mean, not about the correct things.
Yeah, I have seen people moon before. Last time, though, was I don't know, just a few years ago. I was, like, out with some friends at a river, and we were
Mhm,
driving back, and we had took 2 cars, and the car I was in passed the car across from us, so someone in my
mhm.
car mooned the other car, on the freeway.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, it it, like, almost makes sense if, like, you all know each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like, I almost don't get it more when it's the situation like in this episode where it's just a perfect stranger moons you and you're just like, "Well, I saw a butt. I okay."
Yeah, I wouldn't be angry or riled up about that. I'd be like, "Why?"
Just be like, "Oh, okay, I got things to do now."
Yeah. So we get to see them at a bar playing pool,
Mhm.
and Billy's asking Dawson if he scoped out any chicks yet. He's like, "Well, we just started playing pool." And then Pacey reveals that, yeah, he's been scoping out chicks. He's got like his eye on 3 women in different parts of the bar.
Yeah.
Dawson's like, "Oh, I guess I need to get on this thing.
Mhm.
Guess I don't know how to do this."
I need yeah, which, like, that I don't know, I guess I'm more like Dawson, I'm just existing in the world, I'm not, like, looking for targets, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I feel like I need to act more like Pacey. Granted, like, I will go to events. I think I told you, I went to a party recently where I knew I was only gonna know the person that was throwing the party, in the hopes that I would just meet more people and potentially find a guy there or a connection that could lead me to a guy.
Yeah, you went to meet more people. Good for you.
Which wasn't just for men. It's like, no, I could also stand to have some more friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently there's some presentation thing going on at the school. There's like presentation board things. I don't really know what's going on. Miss Tringle is there, who we saw in the detention episode,
Mhm.
and she pulls Joey aside to talk to her and mentions something about girls making mistakes. And Joey's like, "Well, boys make mistakes too." And Miss Tringle's like, "Well, it seems like, but the price they pay seems so much less."
Yeah.
Which, honestly, yeah.
True, true.
But, yeah, she suggests a parenting class that they have at the high school to Joey, and this is when it clicks for Joey that she's like, "Oh my god, even she knows." Like
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, she thinks I'm pregnant." Yeah, because Joey
Yeah,
doesn't seem to get it at first, and then she's like, "Oh, oh."
the consequences of my actions.
Yeah, and I remember now that it was, like, the college fair where they had, like, booths about colleges.
Mm,
Mhm.
yeah. Do you remember I think our high school had some kinda class like that. I never had it, but I remember there being some point in the year, there would be, like, people carrying around fake babies.
I don't really remember that specifically. I I believe it, but I don't really remember it.
Yeah. We were taught where we grew up that, like, abstinence is the answer.
Yeah, we grew up in a fairly conservative suburb, and it was yeah, it's, the United States sex education is not great, but,
Yeah. But, yeah, so then we see in the hall on a locker, there's, like, a bumper sticker on the locker that
oh,
says,
yeah.
"Anyone can make a baby. It takes a real man to be a father."
Yeah.
And it's revealed it's Warren's.
It's Warren's
It's
locker.
Warren's locker.
Can you give me 1 sec? I'm gonna let Crush in because he's scratching and meowing.
Okay.
Okay, come on in. Come on in, buddy. You can come in. Come sit down. Come get up here, bud. Come on.
Come sit down.
You wanted to be in here?
He just wants you to be available to him.
Apparently. Okay, so yes, that is a lovely bumper sticker. I'm also impressed that someone found that bumper sticker so fast, unless they'd just been holding on to it for such an occasion.
Yeah. So Warren rips it off his locker. He opens up his locker and there's baby stuff in there, which I don't know who had access to his locker.
Mhm.
But while he's yanking it out, I was going to say there was a Dare poster behind him.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing a Dare poster.
And I'm like, are they doing it ironically or like not?
Well, I think most high schools would have that probably.
Yeah, during that time, yeah.
Mhm.
We go back to the bar where Billy is trying to impart wisdom to Dawson about it all being all about numbers.
Yeah, which is a thing I've heard, like, mostly in, like, men in video saying is like, yeah, you just kinda have to get over the rejection of it, and once someone rejects you, move on.
Yeah, which I've seen that in real time in college. I have kind of a fun short story to tell. It is, um, me and my best friend would go to bars on this, like, one street in town had, like, all the bars in the town, and we would, like, go just to dance, and,
Mhm.
like, sometimes we wouldn't even get a drink. We would just dance and not give the bar any money, but it didn't matter because we were women. Anyway. But some guy, like, approached us, and I'm pretty sure he was hitting on my friend. Like, he was just trying to talk to us and in the middle of the dance floor, and it's like, "We're dancing here. Like, what? We don't wanna have a conversation right now." So then we came up with an excuse to leave him, and we moved somewhere else and started dancing there, and he just followed us. And
Oh.
and then at some point I don't know if he walked away or we did again, I have no idea, but, at some point he went away and we're like, "Oh, thank God that guy went away." And, like, not even 5 minutes later, he's leading another woman out of the bar by the hand. And
Yeah.
we were just like, "He caught one."
Yep. He cast his fishing line and he got one. Which, like, good for her as long as she's down.
Yeah, yeah.
That is interesting to me when people will just, like, meet and within 5 minutes be like, "Okay, let's go."
"Let me go to your home, stranger."
That's yeah. That is not how I operate in the world. I don't have that level of trust.
Yeah, so, anyway, it does happen. But yeah, Billy's telling him, "Don't waste time. You'll know in the first 15 seconds if they wanna see you naked."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Um, so Dawson is kinda scoping it out and sees a woman who's wearing a shirt that has "film threat" on it, which I assume is a movie.
Or I'd probably like a publication or something, or a
Yeah,
festival.
yeah. I shoulda Googled it.
But something about film.
Yes, and Dawson goes up to her and says, "Hi." And pauses for a minute, and he's like, "My name's Dawson." And she's like, "Uh-huh."
Yeah, yeah. He just goes straight to, "My name's Dawson," and he does he it from the first thing, he's like, he taps her on the shoulder, and I wrote down, "Not the tapping." And as soon as she turns, I'm also like, "That woman is 30 if she's a day." Which, like,
Yeah,
fine, but, like, that's a weird choice for 15-year-old Dawson.
mhm. Yeah, the fun fact, I saw on IMDb was apparently she was, like, 12 years older than James Van Der Beek. So,
So, like, 30.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like, she looks great, but, like, it was just clearly like, this is not a teenager.
This is not a
This is an
very
adult.
impressionable young person.
Yeah, yeah, she's just and but he says that and she goes, "Okay." Oh, wait, no, she does a whole, like, bit of like, "Oh, you're Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh." Then she turns back to her conversation.
Yeah, and like, I love there's just, like, some it feels like punchlines one after the another here, like, Dawson introducing himself in such an awkward way, but then it cuts to Pacey at a bar next to a woman, and he says, "I'm the drummer for Pearl Jam, you?" And then she's like, "You're dumber than who?"
Yeah, which, like, that's I'm the drummer for Pearl Jam? Like, I know Pearl Jam was big, um,
I don't think
but,
they were
like,
that
that is
young, even in the
I
late '90s.
well, they were, like, grunge, so probably, like, they were really breaking through in, I think, like, the late '90s.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you were that is such a big lie, and it didn't even work because she thought you were saying you were dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, so Dawson gives this woman he met kind of a speech about not knowing how to approach her and then just assume that direct was the best way to go.
Yeah. Just word vomiting, like, "So I this is how I my brain got here, and I thought I'd just, like, I'm Dawson." And again, he taps on her shoulder before going into this rant.
Yeah, but then he starts, like, talking about his faults, which she engages with. I don't know,
Yeah.
humors him and is like, "Oh, what else are your faults?" And he starts listing things off.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's sort of she's kind of endeared by that.
Mhm. Yeah, because then she gives him her name, which is Nina, and then we see Billy talking to Pacey, and Billy's like, "Find someone special," and Pacey says, "I did, she didn't."
Yeah, which that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, and then they see Dawson talking to Nina, and they're like, "Wow."
Wow. A woman is talking to him.
I mean, no one's talking to either of them, so
That's true. That is true.
yeah. So, okay, we're gonna cut to Jen's house where Jen seems to be eating spaghetti with milk. I don't know if you
Yes,
noticed.
that's what I yes, no, that is what I noticed. What I noticed was that she had a plate of spaghetti and a carton of milk in front of her.
I don't know if they maybe it was just because of the strong got milk propaganda in, like, the late '90s and early 2000s.
The milk lobby had more power. Big Milk. Big Milk
Yeah.
was doing product placement.
I don't understand. You coulda just give her a glass of water, like
Yeah, why milk? With spaghetti.
Yeah.
But that's what Jen's doing, and then Joey shows up, right?
Yes. Yeah, we got there. So Joey shows up, seems like she's having, like, second thoughts or regrets about, starting this whole lie about her being pregnant. She seems to not like the attention. She also mentions that, like, an Adventist kid offered to marry her.
Oh, yeah, yeah, like a religious kid, which is like is in bold of him to be like rather than, like, shunning her of being being like, "Oh, you had premarital sex," he's like, "Well, for a woman who is pregnant, you need a husband. I'm I'm here."
I mean, pretty honorable.
I or something. So Joey's beginning to see the effects of her story.
Yeah. And she's starting to maybe even feel bad for the effects Warren is feeling from this lie, to which Jen is trying to talk her out of that feeling. She's like, "No, this guy sucked. He gave you no respect." And
Yeah.
then Joey finds a reason to be mad at Jen and accuses Jen of using her to, like, dump all of her male anger and hatred.
Yeah, it was just such it was another instance of Joey being like, "I cannot accept kindness or help." And again, there probably is a grain of truth to that, that Jen is definitely getting some satisfaction out of really, like, turning it on this disrespectful guy who treats women badly, but it's not her situation, so it feels less I don't know, it feels more achievable to sort of get revenge on him. But I like Joey, the world is Jen of all people is not making big grand plans to subvert your life.
Yeah. But yeah, Joey goes further and accuses, like, that anger she has of men being, taken out on Dawson.
Okay.
Yeah, saying, like, Dawson's likely the only guy that good guy you've been with, and, like, almost, like, accuses her that his bad behavior now is because of her or something. I
Yeah.
it's not totally clear, but Joey's
Yeah.
being an asshole. Uh,
But
um,
Jen does not take it lying down. Jen
no,
Jen
no.
Jen makes a point.
Yeah. She makes the point of she accuses Joey of being scared to death ever since her and, Dawson broke up because she can't have Jen be the excuse of why they're not together anymore. She can't be mad at Jen for that anymore.
Mhm. And so if they're not together, the only person to blame is herself or Dawson.
Mhm. So then she leaves.
Yeah, so Joey's like, "Fine," and leaves. Yeah.
Okay, so next we see Dawson talking to Nina, and they seem to be really getting along and getting into like the discussion of like different directors.
She calls him out on his favorite director being Spielberg and, like, making and being very mainstream, and I loved about Nina that he's like, "What are you talking about? They've made $1 billion," and she said, "Seriously? You're equating mainstream commercial success to artistic integrity and quality?" And I was like, "Thank you." Because, yeah, I will never abide that argument that, like, "Well, it made a lot of money, so it must" no, it shouldn't must be good, or that, like, "Well, people voted for it, so it must be the right" no, no. People
Yeah,
make terrible decisions.
that the fucking another movie about Pandora. Is it called Pandora? Fuck.
I don't know
What's
about
the movie
this.
with the blue people?
Oh. Oh, not a t I know what you mean. The Blue People. I babysitted for someone who was going to this movie because they made a 3rd one. A
Yes,
Atari,
I'm
Avatar,
googling it.
Avatar.
Avatar. Why did I think it was Pandora?
It's 3 syllables, but yes, they said they were going to a movie, as I went over to babysit, and I was like, "Oh, what do you see?" And they're like, "Oh, Avatar," and I was like, "Oh, they made a 2nd one?" And they're like, "No, it's the 3rd," and I was like, "They made a 3rd one. Okay." Yep.
But it keeps doing well.
Yeah, people keep giving it money, and my friend's review of it was like, "It was a movie.
Yeah.
We went to the movies."
I mean, sometimes it's fun to just go to a movie that you're not that invested in.
It is, it is. It's nice. I have done it, so
Yeah. Yeah, but I agree for sure. But it
Mhm.
is very so it's okay, well, I'll get there. But yeah, Dawson defends his choice of director and says that like movies are meant to be escapist. If you want reality, look out the window.
Which, was what he was doing earlier, just looking out the window at Jen's house. Look at her house. That's where she lives.
This was also like kind of right at the beginning of reality TV.
Yeah, yeah. And
Like we
I
don't
think
need
there
to look
is
out the window anymore.
yeah, yeah. And there's, like, I think there's a place for escapism in movies, but there's also a huge portion of movies and television that, like, the point is to address real things.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, she says something that alludes to the fact that she goes to film school, and I'm like, "Okay, this whole discussion makes sense now." Like
Oh, yeah, she's a film nerd too.
yeah, and also the idea of, like, popularity not being the end all be all.
Yes, and the fact that the directors she mentions, I think it was Kubrick and Scorsese, I think, Kubrick and Scorsese, which, yeah, you'll see their movies in, like, film school, but also that's a very college answer because it's like, "Oh, yeah, you're gonna learn about those directors in Film 101." That tells me that you could argue that they have more artistic merit than Spielberg, but, like, you're not showing a all that much depth as a student of film when you reference, Kubrick and Scorsese.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that the writers wanted people to have some idea of who those people were, like,
Oh,
for
you're
the
y
audience members, but
that's
who
actually
knows?
a really good point. Like, not to say that either of those directors are bad, they are, they are not bad, they're, like, good and artistic and have made
A
classics,
Freudian
but,
slip.
like yeah, but they're sort of that's something you will hit in Film 101.
Yeah. Okay, so to ruin this moment, Billy comes up.
Yep, because that's what he does.
Yeah, and he kinda cock blocks Dawson by belittling him, like, "Should I get you a glass of milk?" or
Yeah.
and Nina's can tell right away that this guy sucks and
Mhm.
asks Dawson to leave with her, to which he does.
Mhm.
And as they're walking out, Dawson seems to be pretty nervous. Like he just starts talking and saying way too much.
Yeah, because let's bring it back to he's 15, he's been brought into a bar he shouldn't be in a city he doesn't live in, with a guy that doesn't like him, and now he has known a woman for 5 minutes and is supposed to go home with her? Yeah, it seems like Nina always knew that this wasn't gonna be like, "That's not how this is gonna go." I'm just like, "I'm gonna give you the clout of walking out with me."
Mhm. Yeah. And yeah, so she is like, "Oh, don't think I'm taking you home. Like you don't need to be so nervous." Right?
Yeah, "I'm getting
Um
in my car, and I'm going home."
and I guess she was asking why he's being so weird and he's like, "Well, I just got dumped."
Yeah.
She's like, "That makes sense."
She's like, "Yeah, okay, that kinda makes sense." And it was at
Yeah.
about this point that I wrote down in my notes because it occurred to me, have Dawson's parents just given up on parenting? Because they've not I mean, I get that, realistically, the crew doesn't wanna pay them for, like, a scene, but I was like, "So Dawson just ran off to Providence with a guy he barely knows and is possibly gonna spend the night in some lady's house, like, what are we where are his parents?"
Yeah. I mean, with Pacey, it's not surprising. We still haven't even met his parents.
Yeah, and it sounds like, well, he's the youngest of kids, right? And by that point, they just parents are a little play a little fast and loose when you have
Yeah.
many kids, and by the time you get to the last one, you're like, they're fine.
Yeah. They'll figure it out.
Yeah,
But yeah, Dawson does say some like kind of sweet things to her. He's like, you did help me forget about her, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about her. And then Nina kind of wants to help him out more and says, okay, well, I can give you a ride to my house and you can spend the night so your friends think that we boned.
yeah. She's like, basically, you can like sleep on my couch and
Yeah.
tell them whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. And he pauses and she mentions something of like, "Well, you need to hurry up with your decision before I card you." So she clearly knows he is too young.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and the reason he pauses, he's like, "Well, I kinda want her back." They have a little sweet peck on the lips goodbye,
yeah,
and then she gets in her car and she says, "Call me if she doesn't come to her senses," which I'm like, "Ma'am."
ma'am. You don't need to do all that. He's still a child, and you talked for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe once he's in film school, hit him up.
Yeah. And also, maybe she probably didn't mean it. She was probably just,
No.
like, kinda giving him a pep talk.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so next we're at that college fair, I guess, and
Mhm.
Abby goes up to Jen and says something along the lines of she doesn't believe Joey about her being pregnant and that Warren was called into the nurse's office about contraception and that he doesn't need that anyway because he has a soft spot for the ladies in a very unfortunate location.
Yeah, and I was are we okay. So, we could imply she could imply that he's, like, sterile, but that seems very unlikely that it would be, like, known by anyone. And also, how do you find out you're sterile when you're, like, 17? I don't know, it happens, I'm sure. But also, what she's more implying is that he can't get it up for the ladies, and I was like, "Are we what are we saying here?
Yeah,
Are we
are
saying
you
he's are
that
we
he's
saying
gay?
he's straight? Are we saying that he just is impotent? What are we going for here?"
Yeah, I know. I don't think it's meant to be like a knock on him being gay. I think it is just supposed to be a knock on him in his manhood, which is still dumb.
Yeah, it sounds like there was, like, one girl that they tried to have sex and probably he was, drunk and couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, that's a very plausible possibility.
Yeah, and then, because it's high school and apparently everything spreads like wildfire, that would be enough to make it, quote, unquote, "common knowledge" that he's
Mhm.
can't.
Yeah. So after telling Jen this rumor, she watches as Jen goes directly to tell Joey, and Abby
Mhm,
seems to take a lot of joy in the fact that she's telling Joey. So I'm like, maybe it's true she didn't believe Joey, but she was actually rooting for her. But yeah, it seems like she's at least not against Joey on this whole situation because she gives Joey some information, whether true or
mhm,
not, but people believe is true.
mhm,
Yeah. So, and Joey seems to be very thrilled by this information.
mhm.
Next, Dawson comes into the bar, and Billy and Pacey are there at the bar. And Billy is kind of testy with Dawson, probably because, quote unquote, he won. Like, he kind of had the best success that night.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Pacey's trying to cool off the situation. He can see it's going to be escalating. But Dawson tells Billy off and basically says, like, I knew your plan the whole time. I knew you were trying to, like, get me to hook up with someone so you could whisper it in Jen's ear and hopefully she'd come back to you. And he calls Billy pathetic and
Mhm.
says that if he cared about Jen, he'd leave her alone. Billy says, "Oh, her father told me exactly that. Do you like sounding like her father?" And he says the thing of better than her loser ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty good. And, like, hey, Dawson's not above the Oedipus complex.
Yeah. So Billy obviously just leaves them. He's like, "Well, I'm
Mhm.
the one with the car. You guys are not.
Yeah.
Goodbye."
And Pacey's like, "You couldn't have held off till we got home to say that last thing." But he doesn't seem mad, he seems like kinda like, "Good job, Dawson."
Good job, but this night's gonna be a lot longer.
Mhm. It's a long bus ride.
So, yeah, we next cut back to Joey waiting in the halls for Warren, who's at his locker, and Joey confronts him, and I guess Warren, like, I don't know if he's really apologetic, but his reasoning of how to, like, end all of this is just to be like, what if, like, one way to get rid of a lie is to make it the truth? And
Yeah.
weirdly asks her out, and I don't
Yeah!
understand. I'm like, "Did you always like her? That's a terrible way to go about it." I was just like, maybe he's just more worried about his reputation being single and that there's this rumor about him already?
Mhm.
Or it's possible that maybe he is gay and he is looking for a beard. I don't know.
It almost seems like my thought was that I he probably just sees dating as a kind of, like, currency, and it's like, well, if I get a date at, like, sort of like you said, of seeing it as, like, a path towards reputation, like, I feel like in high school, often well into adulthood, there are people who are like, "It doesn't matter if I like the person or if this leads to anything or if it matters, but I have a date, so."
Mhm.
Which, like, I don't know, not that I'm the dating master, but
Yeah.
there are people who's like, "Do you even like this person? It seems like you don't like this person. Why would you date them?"
Yeah. Yeah, Joey blackmails him saying, "Hey, I have this information on you, so you better tell everyone that what you told them is a lie,"
Mhm.
which it seems like that's gonna work. But yeah, when he asks her out, she basically says, "Kick rocks."
Yeah, she's like, pick me up after my lobotomy."
Which I feel like she should have just said "kick rocks," or, like that woman in Love Is Blind who said "kick rocks with open-toed shoes."
Yes.
That was
That was
so
a good
good.
one.
That was the one season we watched together, I think.
Yes, yes. We watched 1 season of that show, and it was a doozy. And she was also, at the time that she said that, wearing the most insane, like, infinity scarf top holding her breast. It was crazy. It was just side boob from every direction.
Mhm. I mean, you gotta do it. You gotta do it for the audience.
Yeah,
Anyway,
gotta do it for the cameras.
yeah. But yeah, so Casey and Dawson are sitting at a bus stop. It's dark. It looks cold.
Mhm. It's raining.
Yeah, it might even be raining, you're right. And Casey asks what happened with the girl, and Dawson's pretty cool about it. He's like, "Oh, nothing, like nothing happened." And he's like, "Okay, so you're just wearing that lipstick as a fashion statement."
Yeah. Pacey's growing on me, guys.
He goes back and forth between being abrasive and likable, and yeah.
Yeah, we're on the likable swing at the moment.
Yes. Joey comes to Jen's place, I guess, to reconcile the whole situation. And she finds Jen reading on the porch, and she has so many candles around her.
Yeah, Jen's reading on her enclosed porch with, like, 5 candles lit, and I
Like she lives in the Victorian era.
yeah, it's like, on the one hand, I'm like, I guess good for Jen, that seems like a lovely evening. A little bit strange, but okay.
Yeah. And Joey brought ice cream.
Mhm.
I like that they eat it straight from like the big tub.
Yeah.
That's some girl talk. That's some girl time.
Yeah.
And I think it's Jen who says, "Can we keep Dawson from coming between us?"
Yeah.
Trying to bury the hatchet, and Joey brushes it off and is like, "Well, he's only in love with one of us." And Jen pauses and is like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, you're right." And Joey's like, "What the fuck?" And then for a minute realizes.
Well, what really drove it home for me is when she's like, if there's, someone that he's in love with, and then that's probably better than being just the object of his infatuation.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, so she knows
Yeah.
he's just, like, uh, infatuated with her."
Mhm. Yeah, she's been around the block enough. She's smart enough to know what's love and what's too early to be love. She's also mean to herself, so there's also that.
Yeah, and Joey just does her little, like, hiding a smile that she's hiding, just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
maybe something good might someday happen to me, but I better not celebrate it or it'll be gone."
Yeah, and Joey said that, picturing Dawson so male has made me nauseous all day, and they're wondering if he did the deed. And I'm like, "Girls, do you really think that he was just gonna go to a brothel or hook up with somebody?" You're really
Yeah,
overestimating his game or, like, lack of conscience.
yeah. Although it did I could see the comment of, like, imagining him so male was made me nauseous, and, like, maybe not in those words, but that I can understand that experience of seeing someone, like, play out the stereotypes, or, like, seeing, like, a guy lean into, like, a macho oh
Persona?
my god. Yes, persona. Seeing, like, a guy that you know and, like, lean into, like, some weird macho persona and just being like, "Oh, that's so disappointing."
Mhm. Yeah, I think we've discussed, it's like, I just don't like men who are making their whole life a performance of gender. It's a real bad
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And, like, again, they are indoctrinated and told to do it in many ways, but, that's why we all have to dismantle the patriarchy together. We all have to dismantle gender roles together.
Mhm.
Patriarchy hurts men, guys. Hurts them
Yeah.
real bad.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, "You guys are in it worse than we are." We at least, like, don't, hold as much shame, I think.
Eh, yeah. I mean, there's the rights that they have, but
Yeah.
TBD.
Okay, so it cuts to, like, I guess a sunrise. Probably sunrise since, the last scene was at night.
Yeah.
And what comes on is Savage Garden, the same song from the
Yep.
beginning.
Truly, madly, deeply.
They gotta tie it all together. They
Yeah.
love tying
Full
it all
circle
together.
moment. Yeah.
So, Joey's weirdly just in Dawson's bedroom, and I'm like, "Girl, I hope you weren't there all night waiting for him to come home." Like,
Yeah. It's like, but
I
Dawson doesn't seem the least bit, like, bothered by it.
I know. Granted, I think she's wearing a different outfit, so let's hope she went home and wasn't
Mhm.
being crazy waiting for him. Um,
Yeah. On
yeah,
the other hand, there's also a newborn baby in her home, so she might have just been like, "That's a quiet place, I can go to sleep."
honestly. Honestly, yeah. And he's not gonna mind, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah, so she's sitting in his room when Dawson comes home, and I like that he takes off his sweater, and he's got, like, a big tucked in shirt and his, like, very pale blue jeans, and I was like, "God, that's so of its time."
Yeah. So 1999.
Yeah, so Joey kind of cautiously is asking, "So how'd it go last night?" And he jokes, like, "Oh, a nonstop sex machine." And
Yeah.
he's like, "How was your day?" Or like, "What did you do?" And she's like, "Oh, boffed." Is it boffed? Boofed?
I I
Boffed?
think I think it was boffed. Boofed is something else.
Yeah. Boofed, the starting fullback.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get pregnant from that.
No.
But yeah, she says, "Boffed, Cape Side starting fullback and got knocked up." And he's so tired, he just taps her on the head and is like, "That's nice."
Yeah, that was a cute moment of them just being like, "Yep, we're just bantering," and
Okay. Yeah, so he falls into his bed, ready to go to sleep, and Joey asks, "Was it all good, clean fun?" And which is weird, and he's like, Not exactly." And she's like, "Well, are you gonna tell me?" And he's like, "Yeah, but later. Haven't slept in like 24 hours."
Mhm.
And he was like, "But yeah, for a while, nothing reminded me of Jen."
We'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. And he falls asleep. She tucks him in more, sits
Yeah.
in the chair, and it's just like, "Yeah, I can wait."
Yeah, she's like, says out loud to herself, "I can wait."
It's like, "No, girl."
I mean, on the one hand, that seems like a slippery slope to just continuing to not say anything to him about your feelings, but on the other hand, I can
Mhm.
also see that, like, 72 hours after his breakup, it might be a little fast to be like, "And I have feelings for you."
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I just think she can't do anything right away, so I don't know. It's kind of sweet she says that, like, "Yeah, I like you enough to wait however long
Yeah.
it takes," basically is what it sounds like. But then at the same time, it's like, "Oh, that's a lot of pain."
Yeah, that's Joey has enough burdens to bear. But, the weird left field thing that is not related to the story, is that I was looking in, like, the background of one of the scenes. I was, like, looking around Dawson's room, and it has, there's, like, a little, like, souvenir baseball, and there's a little plaque in the back, and it has a picture of, like, a blonde child in a football uniform, and excuse the word, it is how they used to name, like, kids' football leagues, the divisions. It says, "Midget League MVP."
Holy crap. I didn't
And I
know
was like,
that.
Is that Dawson? Are we saying Dawson was at one time an MVP of a football team?" I feel like the set designers didn't I think maybe they just really had to fill the space.
We're like, "You know what we need a picture of? A white blonde child and an inappropriate word."
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, and just like, I thought Dawson never played football. I don't know.
Okay, so that's how we end.
Mhm.
Nothing really changes.
Yeah, it sort of seemed like there wasn't a lot of, like, ongoing plot happening. It seemed like it was sort of a cooling off period where everyone could kind of come to terms with their feelings and sort of work towards whatever the next, like, actual big plot thing is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that maybe Jen and Joey's relationship has gotten a little tighter, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's nice to see them together, and it's also nice to see, like, Dawson and Pacey together because I just feel like they haven't developed those 2 relationships a whole lot.
Mm. Yeah. They've been, like, on the back burner.
Mhm. So, whose creek is it?
Oh, that's tough because I guess I kinda there's basically 2 main storylines. There's the, like, Joey's situation at school with Warren, and there's, Dawson going along on this wild goose chase trip to Providence with Billy and Pacey. And I don't really feel like it's Dawson's, I guess. It doesn't feel like there was, like, a lot of growth. There wasn't a lot of, like, it was kinda just seeing him, like, kind of recover, not feel so bad about the breakup, but it didn't seem that much deeper. I almost wanna give it to Joey or Jen. Maybe Joey? I don't know, this is a tough one because no one really it was, an entertaining enough episode, but it wasn't, like, a big dramatic episode.
Yeah, and not any real plot, like, big overarching stories happening in this episode too.
Yeah, more like a sitcom. This was, like, everything kinda goes back to how it was before by the end.
Yeah,
I don't know, do you have any ideas?
I think it's Nina's Creek. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm down.
It's like she rediscovered that maybe not all men are so bad. Maybe her opinion about directors has changed. No, I'm kidding.
She's gonna walk back into film school and be like, "You guys, you know what? Spielberg."
I know no one's ever thought of it, but what about Spielberg? Okay. I'm gonna throw out my opinion. I do believe it was Dawson's Creek this episode.
Okay.
We do not have to agree. I will say I think I think he got to come out of his shell a little bit more. I think maybe he got to see that, like, breaking up with Jen isn't the end of the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, I also think I mean, maybe he does kinda do crazy stuff like this from time to time, but I think it's, like, the first we've ever really seen it.
Yeah. You're kinda talking to me into it. Like, it was subtle, but there was some growth. There was kind of him letting loose and seeing himself, and I think what he got out of the bar conversation with Nina was just feeling a little bit more capable, and maybe, like, he doesn't have to do being a guy in the way that people like Billy do that.
Mhm. Yeah, because he realized he didn't even though he wasn't gonna sleep with her, he didn't even want people to think he did. You know, he's
Mhm.
like, "You know what? Actually, I don't care that much about this."
Yeah.
Up
Hmm.
to you, though. I do agree that Joey and Jen do have something that's worth, calling it their creek.
Yeah, because there was also a little it felt like there was a little bit of there's I did really like the development of Joey and Jen's relationship even as, like, stop and start as it was. I don't know, maybe I'm being wishy-washy, but I kinda wanna just join you on your rowboat and say it's Dawson's Creek.
Alright, let's row away together on Dawson's Creek.
And it's gonna be sunset.
Yes, and I will lay with you on a mountain and bathe with you in the sea
I wanna lay like this forever
until
until
the
the
sky falls
sky.
down on me.
Not sure if that's the melody.
I don't think it is.
No,
I was
there's a
like,
part in the
what is she doing?
no, no, not the main not the melody to the main,
Oh,
it's
you
like
mean
the
like the
after.
bridge part? Like the
Yeah. Yes, the
ooh,
bridge.
ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know it exactly either. That's fair.
Okay, yeah. You were just like, "That is so not the melody to the chorus."
I was like, "Are you singing that song or the intro, I Don't Wanna Wait?" I can't tell.
You know what? The important thing is we got more Savage Garden.
Yeah, I do love that song.
It's good, it's good.
Yeah. Okay, so next episode is episode 10 of season 1 called Double Date. We don't even know
Sound
2 couples right now, so let's see what that is.
Yeah, this could be any combination of people, really. But, yeah, looking forward to it, and, you can, follow us on TikTok or Instagram at Whose Creek Is It, and I don't know, any parting thoughts?
Nope. Stay safe. Try not to get a cold because it's really bad this year.
Yeah, stay safe, try not to get a cold, don't let fascism crush you under its boot, and take care of and stand up for your neighbors.
Yeah, and maybe have ice cream with them.
Yeah, have some ice cream.